let's talk about the defending national champs and the Georgia Bulldogs. Should Stetson Bennett be a Heisman favorite in 2022? If you ask me, I think it's a great possibility that he could win the Heisman this year. I think he should be a favorite going into the season. I think he's a great quarterback. Obviously, winning the national championship, and you could say whatever you want to about Georgia's defense. He put up really good numbers, over 2,000 yards throwing, 29 touchdowns, 7 picks, and an 87, almost 87, 86.7 QBR rating when you look at it. Stetson Bennett is the guy. He is the man, the myth, the legend. And he did a lot for Georgia this past season. He really did. He was a national quarterback, national champion quarterback. And in the national title game, he was 17 of 26, 224 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Last year, you could say whatever you want to. Maybe it was on the defense for Georgia. But I really think that Stetson Bennett could be poised to have a breakout season. I really do. I think that he was good in the Orange Bowl. He was even good, I thought, against Alabama the first time around. I think that the defense faltered a bit in that game. I don't think that he necessarily did a whole lot wrong. He did answer for 24 points against Alabama in the SEC title game. But again, he was 185 of 287, had a 64 completion percentage, over 2,000 yards. He averaged 10 yards a pass, had 29 touchdowns, 7 picks, longest play of 89, had a rating of 176. I mean, he had his best season, right? And then again, this was his first season truly getting the nod at quarterback. I mean, seriously, we didn't really talk about him that much going like throughout the season this past year. But I'm telling you right now, if I had to make a bet, I understand it starts with Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and whoever else you want to throw up there. This guy has the potential to be a Heisman finalist quarterback this year. I like Stetson Bennett. I think he's got good character. First off the field, he's a great guy. You could see the emotion. He's been a guy that's been doubted time and time and time again, right? He's not necessarily listed for the Heisman Trophy, but I do want to share this from Fan Nation on SI.com of Dog Daily. This article coming in here: Georgia football quarterback Stetson Bennett entering an unfamiliar situation where he truly is the guy from day one, right? It says, despite it being his 6th season in college football, having started 18 games in that time, that's actually quite a bit, Stetson Bennett is entering unfamiliar territory entering 2022. This is from Harrison Reno, by the way. This was put out yesterday. As Georgia prepares to begin their summer workouts, fall camp is quickly approaching after receiving the last batch of freshmen earlier this week for the official move-in day. For 6-year senior quarterback Stetson Bennett, this will be nothing new, as he's already well acquainted with Georgia's offseason strength and conditioning program, solely focused on getting the team ready for the grueling days in August. Yet it is not all familiar territory for the Blackshear Georgia native this offseason. Bennett will be entering fall camp as a projected starter following a 2021 season where Bennett entered the season without much of a shot of even being in contention for the starting job. So here's the role. He is projected to be the starting quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs, as he should. Stetson Bennett is the go-to guy, right? He won you the Orange Bowl. He won you the national championship. He did everything you asked him to do, Kirby. It's one thing if mid-season you make a switch at quarterback like you did with Stetson Bennett. That's one thing. It's a completely different story if the spotlight's on him and the whole world is watching. The whole world is watching you, Stetson Bennett. They know you just demolished the Crimson Tide. I just got to say, like, just give them props. You demolished 33-18. You put up 33 points, actually, technically 26, but either way, and by the way, let's go back and look at that game here. He was 17 of 26 in the national title game, 224 yards, a 65 completion percentage, no picks. He took 5 sacks in the game, had a 71 QBR and 2 touchdowns. To take 5 sacks and still have like a 71 QBR, actually pretty good. Um, we know what he did. We know what he can do. The world's going to be watching Stetson Bennett. Nobody's really talking about that. Nobody's talking about how good he can be or that he's going to be. Everyone's talking about Georgia this, Georgia that, and they're the champions. What about next season? What about Stetson Bennett? This was a guy that's been doubted. I remember a year ago, maybe today even, I don't know. On this show, we talk about Chess Hall and his birthday. He used to be one of the show hosts, right? We used to talk all the time about the Georgia quarterback situation. Please don't put in Stetson Bennett. Please don't do this. Don't do that. No Stetson. No Stetson. No Stetson. It needs to be this guy. It needs to be that guy. JT Daniels or Brock Vandergriff coming in, or it needs to be Justin, whoever. It wasn't supposed to be Stetson Bennett. It wasn't. But it is now. Georgia fans love him, and the media loves him. And everyone's watching Stetson Bennett and what he's going to do now that he's a national championship quarterback. He has that title on him forever. You can't take it away. He's still in school. He's going to be a junior this year. He wants to improve his draft stock and everything, but should he be a Heisman favorite? That's what we really want to talk about. The world's going to be watching Stetson Bennett this year, and it's going to be fun to see. There's a lot that goes into it. He's got the weapons. He's got the arm talent. He's got the coaching. He brings a lot back on the offense. Really didn't lose much other than maybe George Pickens and then I think a running back in Zamir White. Right? Bring a whole lot back. Who's behind him? I guess Carson Beck. Right? Kendall Milton comes back. Adonai Mitchell. There's a lot. Stetson Bennett won a national title last year. How much better does it get than that? What if he added something else to his trophy case this year? Could he do it? Honestly, if you ask me, I think the sky's the limit for him. That's just my opinion. We'll see.